Good morning, YouTube. How are you guys doing? I missed you guys so freaking much. So I'm back. And I wanted to come on here and tell you guys like what's been going on, how everything's been going for me, and tell you guys why I've been absent from YouTube for so long, why I took a break. I want to share with you guys my spirituality journey that I went on while I was gone, and you know what happened while I was gone, and also some self-worth tips that I think everybody could like use. So if you guys want to see my spirituality journey and why I kind of stopped and why I really came back, you guys can just keep on watching. The reason why I stopped YouTube is I prioritized people and situations and relationships above what truly made me happy. And so I think my last video that I uploaded was on May 28th, 2019. So that was the last video that I made, and it was pretty much my like skincare diary when I got my mandelic acid peel. So it's gonna be a situation that I went through after that time, and then like all the way up until where I'm at now. And as you guys can see, I am not in my home. I am in my very first apartment, which I've already started like filming. I think I'm pretty much done filming with my move-in experience and how everything of that went. So of course I will show you guys because you guys want to know, you guys want to see it. So that will be up very shortly after this video. So that will be coming soon. Let's go back to the end. Let's go beginning of March. So beginning of March 2019, I met a guy. And we dated from March 2019 to April 2020. So just not a few months ago, like 4 or 5 months ago is when things ended. So the reason why I wanted to talk about my breakup is really to just let you guys know what has been going on in like recently in my life. And I wanted to tell this to inspire someone to, to leave, if you know that you need to leave a relationship or situationship, as we would call it, or entanglement, to inspire someone that sees the red flags and the signs that they need to go, but don't really have like the push to go, like the maybe you just need to end up leaving this person. And I wanted to do that for somebody that is going through what I went through and feels like there's nothing else out there to offer, or there's nothing else out there for them. And I promise you, even if you feel as if there's no one or someone out there for you, I promise you there is. Like even if it's not a person, it's a purpose out there for you. It's it's a book out there for you. It's a book in you. It's a relationship that you didn't even know you needed out there for you. It's God out there for you, or whoever end up worshiping or seeing as a higher power. That there is something more than that relationship. If you are not 100% truly happy, I promise you there's something out there. There's something out there for you. I'm talking about this relationship because it ties into everything that I want to talk about in this video, which is my spirituality and then my self-worth and like what I've been up to now. March of 2020, I was on Snapchat and I knew him from a friend of a friend. So basically like I shot my shot. We got together in May of 2019, and as you guys can tell, that was the last time I made a YouTube video. So pretty ironic, right? I really did prioritize that relationship above anything else that made me happy. I was just getting out of a very toxic relationship before him. So I didn't ever take the time to really heal myself, heal from that past situation. I didn't make sure that the things that I endured in that last relationship didn't carry on into the next relationship. So like sitting here and talking about it now really allows me to really think about the things that I didn't really think about, or I just now started thinking about. So I did carry a lot of things from that toxic relationship into the relationship that I had with this guy. Things were going good, things were going really great. I thought that this person was going to be the person I was going to marry, and we hit it off pretty well. Like, I was able to be my full self around him and vice versa with me. So once we got to October, and really a lot of things from both of us started to show. Like, I started to see insecurities about him, he started to see insecurities about me. And of course we definitely moved on from it. We talked about it. I think the situation could have been handled differently for sure, but you live and you learn, and when you know better, you do better. So December was really when the insecurity started to show for both of us. And I really say insecurities, really something that I learned during this relationship is that I carried a lot of my parents' tendencies, and like I realized that I was carrying traits that I never really knew that I had until I started really seeing how I acted and how I reacted to certain things. That's how I pretty much figured out that I had insecurities that I've never really knew about and never really thought about until I was in a relationship with this guy. I think we both knew by December that eventually one of us is gonna have to let go. We don't know who, we don't know when, but I think we both knew by December that it was really bound to happen. So at least that's what I thought. Let's fast forward to when we broke up. During this relationship, we've taken multiple breaks, and it was really just because we just needed space away from each other, which is no problem. I have no problem giving people their space. Like, I'm not a bugaboo person. If you want your space, I will give you your space. We took another break at the end of March, April. I think we took another break at the end of March. But by that time, COVID hit. And so when COVID hit, he came over one last time. And I pretty much knew the last time he came over was going to be his last time coming over, because that's really just how the relationship went. During that break, we would text, but we wouldn't be on FaceTime or really doing hardly any texting. And so during that time is when I practically begged him to stay. I begged him to stay in the relationship. I begged him to want to care about the relationship. I really begged him to really want to be there and be present in the relationship, and really, I didn't want the relationship to end. Let me tell you right now, don't ever do that. Don't ever beg someone to stay with you. A person that is for you, you will never have to beg them to stay. And after that, he responded basically with I don't know if I, really believe in, relationships anymore, or being in a relationship, or he really just didn't know his feelings about the relationship as a whole. So that's where I think I personally messed up, because after hearing what he said that time, is when I should have just been okay. But then at the end of that text message, he said, we can try to make this work. So I basically took that, we can try to make this work, and ran with it. So for about 2 weeks after he said we can basically try to work on it, he proceeded to really treat me as if I was a regular, like we weren't in a relationship, we weren't really, I wasn't his, girlfriend at the time. The relationship really just wasn't what it was. So after those 2 weeks, I pretty much got fed up with him treating me like a regular person, like a person that, was just there to be there. I was pretty much forcing my presence to be there. I texted him, I said, hey, we need to talk. And so we got on FaceTime, and I told him that, I said, I'm tired of being treated like this. You don't have to treat me like this. I'm tired of you, talking to me pretty much any way that you want to, or talking to me as if I'm not, trying to make this work. basically he hit me with, I told you how my feelings were, how I felt about it. I said, but you also told me that we could try to make this work, and I'm trying. The thing I think that really hurt me and cut me the deepest that I think I've ever witnessed is what he said on FaceTime was, well, maybe I need to miss you in order to want you, or maybe I need to miss you in order to be in this. And I was 100% completely speechless after I heard that. And after hearing that, like, I had nothing to say. I said thank you, and I left. And I blocked him after that because I still don't know the words to say. I don't know the words to say to him, but I do want to let him know, if you are watching this video, or you know your family members are watching this video, that I do 100% wish the best for you. I pray for you every single day. I wish nothing but the best. I want to see you do great things. I want to see you go towards your goals and reach those goals. As of right now, I have nothing to say besides I wish the best for you. I wish the best for your next upcoming relationships that you end up getting into. I wish nothing but true, genuine love and peace and joy in your life, and as well as your family's lives. And I just pray that you guys are all doing well. I 100% cried for like 3 days straight. I was not able to do the things that normal people were able to do. Like, I did not have no motivation to do anything. Like, absolutely nothing. I was not able to do it. This is leading into my spirituality. Literally that day, or the day after, I watched a sermon by Pastor Michael Todd, and that is my favorite pastor, by the way. Like, that is the person that really led me into my spiritual journey of giving my entire life to God. And I watched this one sermon where he specifically talked about offering sacrifices in the right spirit. And that touched so different to me. He starts going about the scripture, like, offer sacrifices in the right spirit. Okay, so Psalms 4 verse 5, and it says, offer sacrifices in the right spirit and trust the Lord. And that is the New Living Translation version. He was saying everything that we think is ours, like our time, our money, our relationships, and everything. And so I was heartbroken, so I really started listening to the relationship aspect of what he was talking about. He was like, you have to offer your sacrifices in the right spirit, because God is a gentleman. God will step back and let you do you until you're able to really invite him into your situations. So he gave this example of, you know, if you don't want to offer sacrifices in the right spirit, you can go ahead and you can keep those, you can keep your money, you can keep your time, you can keep those broken relationships that'll keep you in cycles for the next 30 years. I said, why did you have to look me in my eyeballs and say that? Like, how did you know? You also talk about God being a parent. I personally refer to God as like a father figure. Like, the father figure that I've never had is what I refer to God as. And one thing that he said that really like shook me, like when I say like you are in my house, when he said a good parent knows that you gotta let your kids have what they want so they can figure out it's not what they needed. But I wanted that relationship. Yeah, that led me to give my life to God that day. Like, I felt so relieved. I felt a sense of like peace. I felt this sense of like, oh my gosh, like this is what this life is like, to actually give your problems, give your issues, give everything that is somewhat hurting you or is hurting you, or pain and suffering, to God, and allow him to really come around you, to, because he swooped me up quick. He was like, so everything after my life, after getting broken up with, after begging him to stay, after him pretty much just ending the relationship, was the biggest blessing of my entire life. And I don't say that in a way to like necessarily hurt him. I'm saying this in a way that you have to offer your sacrifices in the right spirit. He took it away from me, or he allowed me to see his true colors in order for me to get out of that and go immediately to him. And that was the best thing that I could have ever done. After that, I started to have more joy, and I started to have more peace. And I started to, the things that I was always praying about, like I've always prayed for self-worth. I've always prayed to be a better daughter, to be a better niece, to be a better friend. I've always prayed for those three things, and I never knew exactly what it took to do all of that. And as soon as I offered my life and my goals and aspirations and dreams and issues and problems and hurt and suffering and trauma to God, like everything fell into place right after that. Like when I say everything, I'm talking about every single thing. My relationship with my mom got stronger. My self-worth I figured out my self-worth. I figured out me whole. I figured out me single. I figured out the things that I loved. I figured out the things that I disliked. I figured out the things that I learned that I didn't even realize that I learned. I figured out how to be a better friend. I figured out all of those things after I gave my life over to God and really started reading my Bible every single day, praying right before I went to sleep every single day. And it was the best thing I could have ever done. I wanted to show you guys like the books that really helped me get through my healing process. I've always been an avid reader about bossing up in your life, and this is one of the books that I read. It's like You Are a Bad A, because my family could be watching and I don't curse, by Jen Tenero. And I'm pretty far into this book. I think I'm at like on 90 and 100 pages on this book. And this one, she talks about like having a higher power, whether that's whatever that means for you. And basically my higher power was, of course, God. And so I just inserted him into that book, and it was great. It really allowed me to really level up and see myself for who I really was. And then another book was, of course, by Michael Todd. I had to go pick it up. I had to. Basically about how learning to win in relationships. And it says how to win at dating, marriage, and sex. I don't know nothing about that last part, honey. Child, I knows nothing. But I actually got this book for me and my the guy I was telling you about, me and his mom, because me and her still have a very, very, very close relationship. I talk to her at least one time a week. Sometimes it will be longer. Like with me moving into my apartment, of course it was longer because I had stuff to do. But me and her still have a really good relationship because that is who I see as my spiritual leader. And I have multiple spiritual leaders. Like I see my best friends Melissa and Vaughn as spiritual leaders. They really helped me get through this. Like they were the people that I fully 100% leaned on to allow me to they allowed me to have my space. They knew when to check up on me. They knew exactly what to do as the family and the best friends that I've always known them to be. I was able to be and that was the time where I think I was the lowest at my point. I knew begging him to stay was when I knew I was at my low. Like the lowest I could be was when I begged somebody that I knew did not want to stay. Because you should never have to hear that from somebody that is really for you, ever. Ever, 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 ever. You would never have to hear that. Because a person that wants to be there for you and a person that wants to you know, help you through stuff, even if it wasn't able to be the best that they were able to be. They would still never, a person that loves you wouldn't say that. I'm sorry. What? You're gonna have to miss me. You know? I'm still healing from that situation, of course. I think we're all still healing from something in our past, but I want to let you know, if you even hear something similar to what he said to me, go, sweetie. Go, honey. Run as fast as you can. Do not did what I did and beg someone to stay, or, you know, I left after hearing that, but that was when I pretty much hit my breaking point, and it took a lot to get to my breaking point. Pastor Michael Todd was able to allow me to get through that and get out of it. Another book that I'm reading is by Sarah Jakes Roberts, and it says Don't Settle for Safe. And I really love this book. I think it's amazing because she talks about the things that she went through to really knowing your, like, one chapter I'm at is knowing your roots and knowing what, you know, what triggers you, you know, what makes you tick, like figuring out yourself. He gifted me with figuring out myself whole. And that's never one thing that I've ever really took the time to do. It feels so good to really start knowing myself and figuring out myself whole and single right now. It feels great. It feels amazing. Sometimes I do get a bit lonely. Like, of course, when you're evolving and when you're changing and when you're growing, you can get a bit lonely. At this point, I know that God is by my side. I know I have family. I know I have friends. I know I have all of the resources that God has gifted me with. I know I have them. I know I have them to fall back on. This is a journal that my friend Melissa got me. It's pretty much, it says stay positive, work hard, make it happen. And this is my journal or diary. I'm not sure what it is, but it has so much in here, from my like insecurities to figuring out like myself. It has my entire breakup in here, like how I felt exactly when I went through my breakup. And I also have another large one, a Vera Bradley one. Oh, I gotta get that from home. Oh, I'm sick. I've come so far, and that was by, you know, the grace of God. Getting out of that relationship really allowed me for God to answer all of the prayers that I've prayed for. I've sacrificed that in the right spirit, and I couldn't be more grateful for going through that. So that is pretty much like my spirituality journey and how far I've come. I read 1 Proverbs and 1 Psalms a day. I try to read or write at least once a day. Whether it's one of these 3 books, or whether it's reading the Bible on my phone or journaling, I try to do that at least once a day, because that is one thing that keeps me sane. I couldn't be more grateful for my past relationship, because without me getting out of that relationship, I would not be here. I would not be sitting in my own apartment. I wouldn't have the self-worth that I have today. And a few self-worth tips that I think I just want to end this video on is know your worth. And I know that's so cliche. I know. Don't even say it. I know. Listen though. Knowing your worth will get you out of so many situations. When you know your worth, you know exactly how you want to be treated. You figure out, you know, one thing I figured out was my love language. My love language is quality time. I ask for nothing but time. If you ask any of my exes, I don't want nothing but quality time. If you get me something, cool, it's great, amazing, love to see it. Mine is quality time. Quality time, being with each other, watching movies, really just, you know, being in the presence of a person that I love is my love language. To really see situations, like, I don't know, like my intuition has always been very strong, but like it just made it 10 times stronger once I brought God into it, because I was able to look at like people, well, guys, in, you know, situations and be like, no, maybe. Then it ends up being a no. Like, It allowed me to see what I wanted for myself. Like there was some, like there are things that I can do, but I don't need to. Like, could I be in that relationship? Heck yeah, I could be in a relationship with that person. Do I want to? Do I need to? No, not at all, not whatsoever. And one thing I say about people exiting your life, you can go. Like, if you want to be out of my life that badly, then leave. Then leave. Get that bread, then leave. Peace out. I realize as long as I have God and my family and my friends, I will always be good. My heart has always been genuine. That's why I will never lose. I go into stuff with very good intentions. I never go into something with bad intentions. Like, of course I get nervous, but I never go into something like, yep, I'm gonna mess up his life and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. That's not me. That's never been me. I'm never gonna go into something with bad intentions. I'm always going into something with good intentions. Even if that does mean I'm nervous, I'm still going into it with good intentions because I pray about it. That's why me and my friends will always win, because we have genuine hearts. Another self-worth tip is leave when you know you need to leave. If it's something in here that's telling you to go, you need to go. Just go. That's God telling you something. Or I'm not trying to push my religion on anybody whatsoever, so please don't think I'm trying to push my religion on you. I don't know how this wasn't the first one. Put yourself first. Like, when I say first, I'm talking about God, you. You feel me? Like 1A. God comes first, then you. I think that's where I messed up at, because I put this guy's goals, dreams, aspirations, whatever he wanted to do, I put him before myself. I will never do that again, because I deserve more. I am worth more. I'm a gentle lover. Like, I might hit, I might be a bit aggressive, but that's just me, people be trying to take my weakness, and like, I might be small, but like, but I deserve to be loved in the best way possible. I would be able and willing to do whatever my significant other, prefers. If they prefer like a good morning text, like wake up a little bit more early to shoot a good morning text or something like that. I know I can do that, but I know I need to find somebody that can do that for her. That will have that same energy that I have when it comes to love. That's pretty much all I have for my, why I stopped YouTube. I stopped YouTube because I put this person above everything that I had going on. I lost myself in the process. I lost a lot in the process of loving this person. I'm saying this to show somebody and be living proof that when you sacrifice the thing that you love the most in the right spirit, God will bless you with so much more. So much more. When you let go, He will bless both of you guys individually. And for anybody going through a heartbreak right now or a breakup, I promise, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is. I went through it. I was sobbing with the tears, with the snot, with the Viola Davis snot. Yes, from How to Get Away with Murder. Make sure you check out How to Get Away with Murder. That's my favorite show ever. I was there 5-6 months ago, and I'm living. If you would have told me that I got broken up with, I figured out my self-worth, started loving myself a lot more, I'm able to be at peace, I'm able to have joy, I'm able to be a great friend, I'm able to be a great niece, sister, daughter. I was able to, my last semester, I was on the president's or dean's list, whatever it is. So I wanted to tell you guys that I am back on YouTube. I'm not sure when I'm going to start. I have these first 2 videos coming out as soon as possible. I'm going to get this one edited right after I get off. And I want to be able to really help change someone. I want to be able to look somebody in their eyes and in their face and be like, you can do, I want to be that living proof that you can do it. Like, even if you feel like you can't, you can. That's pretty much all I have to say. I want you guys to let me know down in the comments what you guys want to see. You know, I'm ready to do what it takes to build this bond with me and you, or whoever's on the opposite side of the screen. I'm ready to do that. I am. So please give me a thumbs up if you like this video, if you like this kind of like story time. And my camera died, so this is a clip of me singing and dancing to WAP. I hope you guys really like this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me a thumbs up if you really liked it. And next time I promise to give you guys an outro. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye!